Also need to test the sound. Lieutenant Bob, Sergeant Quint, Corporal Gray. That matters, man. Like... Alright, well, definitely it's too loud. I'll fix that pretty soon. There we go. Alright, let's see. Let's put it to there. Oh, it's still loud. About here. That's way too low. Be like there. Alright. Now to restart the capture to get rid of the sound pop. Stupid ass Elgato thingy. Let's see how this works. It'll be like, oh, nothing's connected to your thing. It's like, oh really? What do you think? So what am I looking at? Just I somehow imagine the graphics? Yeah, no signal. What? How is that possible? Come on. There's clearly a signal going through there. I can see it on this. I'm arguing with the program. What if I reset the game really fast? Hey, what's up, Core? How you doing? I'm gonna play some Jackal here. Alright, here we go. And hopefully the sound won't pop now that I restarted everything. Alright, Jackal. Perfect. How's your day going? So, what's my volume level? That's always what you tell everyone? Well, the thing is about, like, my capture card is that, like, I find that if I reset my machine at all, then, like, the sound will start to pop. So then I have to, like, restart the capture software. And the thing is, to access, you know, to, like, because I'm using a flash card, to access the flash card menu, the way you do it is you hold the reset button for, like, 5 seconds. So it's like, every time I switch games, I have to do that. You got that from a website is down video? I mean, it's the Murphy's Law of modern technology, you know? It's supposed to be better and work great and everything, but at the end of the day, you still have to restart things like 5 times. Like, nothing's really changed. Like, my computer's like that. Like, when I started up, like before there was this Windows update, right? Before that update, I could start it up just fine and my sound would always work. And then before that, there was before that update, I would start up my computer and my sound would be muted and I had to restart. Now I'm back to having to restart every time I start it up just to get the sound to work. Block on it and restart it, I guess. Oh, you mean blow on it and... Yeah, that didn't happen at all. I don't know what... Oh, like, block it? What are you sanding your cartridges now? Like, what are you... Is this some kind of new way to get connectors clean? Yeah, I kinda figured it was blowing. Sometimes autocorrect. You know what? You say that, and I just did that like 5 seconds ago. I had to blow on the cartridge because I'm too lazy to go in the other room and get the blower thing. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just blow on it. Stick it in there. Who cares? Good. See, supposedly blowing on it like wears it out more because it gets corrosion. But I have magical spit that does not corrode, so, you know, I have, like, the spit of the gods. So that only applies to heathens. That's how you know that they're immoral people, is when they blow on their cartridges, their cartridges rust. If they were truly blessed by the video game gods, that wouldn't happen. So... Driving my Jeep. Oh god. You know, in the arcade version, you could swivel the machine gun, but in the NES version, it always just shoots up. But I don't know if the arcade version of this was like... You had the original Sega though? What, the Master System? Or you mean the Genesis? Because I don't know if in the original arcade version of this, if they used the, like the Ikari Warriors swivel stick, or if they actually used 2 sticks. I'm thinking it was like a swivel stick. One that you like rotate. Oh, the Master System then. Ah. Master System's a very underrated console. I mean, it wasn't... The thing is, like, I would say it wasn't that popular, but it actually was fairly popular in Europe and, like, South America. And you just knew it as the Sega system? And I think it was, like, popular enough in the States. But, I mean, like, compared to the NES was a phenomenon. You know, I mean, fuck, there was a movie for Mario 3. It was called The Wizard. I think Sega made like 90% of the Master System games, even if they weren't like Sega games, you know, like Ghouls and Ghosts. I think Sega did the programming. They just licensed the game. That's why the Master System tends to have less crap on it, but it doesn't have nearly as many games. I think the Nintendo or Famicom in total has over like 700 games, whereas I think the Master System is like, you know, maybe like barely over 200, possibly 300. But it definitely has a less percentage of garbage on it, that's for sure. The NES has more like garbage games because it was more popular. That's why I pay sometimes to like play the less popular game system, because, you know, it wasn't like a gold rush where a bunch of developers made shit for it just to try and like get money. You know, like there's good examples of that, like the PS2, the Wii, the DS. You know, where there's just so many like there's good games on them, but at the same time there's a lot of like pure trash. Just to try to make a buck. You remember that movie? Yeah, well, wait, let's see now. Fred Savage was in it. Was Kevin Bacon in it? As soon as they arrived, got so popular. What's up, ball busting babe? Yeah, like the PlayStation has Mary Kate and Ashley games on it. And what else? I think it has an E.T. game that I remember seeing once at a game store, and I was like, who the fuck would make this? This is stupid. Like, why would you do this? You don't remember anyone else? I want to say, like... the dad from, like, Happy Days was in it? Oh wait, no, I'm thinking, no, he wasn't the dad, fuck. Yeah, all I remember is Fred Savage in it. I mean, like, I remember the other two characters, you know, like, the Power Glove Kid and all that, but I don't know the actors' names. I think that was the only movie. But I think Kevin Bacon's his older brother in that. That's the only two famous people, I believe, too, is just, Fred Savage and whoever played his brother. You know, my favorite Fred Savage movie? It's The Boy Who Could Fly. Christian Slater! That's who I'm thinking of. Okay. There we go. Yeah, The Boy Who Could Fly was a pretty cool movie. It had, the dude that played, Herman Munster in it as The Boy Who Could Fly's dad. I remember like thinking that movie was really fucking boring as a kid, but when I rewatched it again as like a teenager, I was like, hey, this is a pretty neat movie. It's nowhere near as fucking good though as Flight of the Navigator. That movie's amazing. Did you know Pee Wee Herman does the voice of the computer in Flight of the Navigator? And what's her face from oh god, Sex and the City? That was one of her first roles. She plays the chick that helps the kid get out of the you know, where they're observing him and stuff. The special effects in that movie blew me away as a kid. I need to watch it again. I don't think they hold up as well from my memory, but I just remember that ship being really cool. You know how it was all chrome and it could like make those steps. Oh, you saw it in the theater? That is a great movie. Like even the way it opens up, because it opens up with them like, you know, their dogs playing frisbee and stuff. Like just shot for shot, it's a great movie. You're 41? Ah, I see. See, I watched it on Laserdisc because I'm 35, so I think it was like it was at home video by the time that like I was old enough to see it. Yeah, I still have the Laserdisc of Flight of the Navigator. It's the same Laserdisc I watched when I was a kid. I just don't have a decent Laserdisc player. I have this whole Laserdisc collection that I inherited from my dad, right? But like the Laserdisc players I have are all kind of like not very good. If I ever get the chance, one day I'd like to get one of those really like, you know, the very last Laserdisc players Japan made. You know, because I hear they had component out and possibly HDMI out Laserdisc players. And I could totally get that and just watch my whole Laserdisc collection at like peak quality. That would be sweet. Did I not hit this guy? It's a lot of bullets, man. You know what? I don't even need to deal with you. Screw that. Oh my god, that sub almost got me though. That was scary. Love these Konami sound effects. so awesome. I never had this game as a kid, but I rented it like at least over 10 times. Like I like if there was nothing at the rental store to rent, I would rent this. And then like later on when I rebought the NES like about 10 years ago, this was one of the games I bought because it was only like 15 bucks and I was like, fuck yeah. Dig out your old movies. I don't have a big VHS collection though, but I do have a bunch of VHSs, like home movies, as well as VHS of me like recording shit off TV or like my old gameplay footage. Because I used to record gameplay footage for like kids on the bus that didn't like, you know, they wanted to see the game I was talking about, but like, you know, we lived too far or whatever. So, like, I know one kid wanted to see my Dragon Ball Z games that I had for the Saturn and stuff, so I made this whole recording. And that was also before, whatchamacallit, YouTube, so I also would record just the endings of games that I beat, just so I would never have to beat them again. Was RoboCop, then in high school I got $20 in quarters and played it until I beat it. Isn't that RoboCop game that's, like, based off RoboCop 2 that's 2 players? Because I remember that one being really cool. Just gave you the game. Oh, that was pretty nice of him. The hell was that truck? Oh, well, it's gone now. Okay, back. So was the beginning of the level of the RoboCop game, was RoboCop just walking down a side-scrolling area shooting bikers and guys in windows? Or was it more like, not necessarily as 2D, but kind of like Final Fight, you can go back and forth? Because those are the two RoboCop games I remember in the arcade. And like, they were both pretty decent, but I remember the second one just being like, I really wanted that to be ported to a home console. It was a side-scroller? Okay, so it was like the first one, which I also thought was pretty good too, and was really disappointed it never got ported to a home console, and what we instead got was kind of shitty. Not many good RoboCop games outside of the arcade, let me tell you. The RoboCop game on the NES isn't that bad, but like it's certainly nowhere near as good as the arcade. And then there's I think the best RoboCop game I played on the consoles is still RoboCop versus Terminator on the Genesis. Because I remember liking RoboCop on the NES. Oh, Last Ninja is fucking terrible. I'm sorry, Balbusty Babe. That game is pure shit. Like, I'm sorry you had to put up with that. It's awful. It has that weird isometric view. It was clearly made for like a computer system and then like gimped dramatically on the NES, and even then it wasn't that good on the PC or Commodore. You know, that's what it is. I think it's like a port of a Commodore game. We're here? He asked it as a question. Here? I don't know. We're getting close to Moscow, whatever. Is that what we're doing? I don't even know anymore what we're doing. We're on a mission from God. Rescuing POWs. I want to mod... you know, if I could hack games, that's the first hack I would do, is I would take Jackal, and then I would somehow turn it into a, Blues Brothers mod. Stop shooting your dick missiles at me! Or, no, you know, maybe a better one would be like Rad Racer. Because it's not like the Blues Brothers, like, blew shit up in their car. They just drove around. They got into car chases. Oh, look, mines. Mines that look like robot nipples. Am I driving around? Oh, there's... I destroyed the Katyusha. Katyusha, I think that's how it's pronounced. Whatever. You know what? I think this is the same driving engine they used for the Turtle Van in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. And that's my favorite part about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 is the fucking Turtle Van for some reason. I wish it was in more levels. It's only in the 3rd level. And then you would think, okay, well maybe I get to drive the turtle limp. And it's like, nah. You just see it in a cutscene. What is that? Can I blow? Oh shit, that's a missile launcher. Okay, that's a missile silo. Fuck missile! Here, one grenade will take out a missile silo, don't worry. Just like in real life. Cold War is for pussies. Yeah, the way it like hops up and down, it has like that suspension. Let me take out this train. Damn you and your spread shot! Fuck, wow. Yeah, haha, you can't turn. Also, when I was a kid, this is as far as I ever got was this level. Now, as an adult, I actually make it to the last level, and then I can't beat it. So there's the improvement of my, or there's my what's it called? Like, my progression in life, according to Jackal, is like 2 extra levels. Bing, bing, bing. Is this paratroopers? Fuck! I didn't even see it. One good thing about this game is if you're actually like collecting real retro carts. See, cause check it out. Be right back. Also gonna get my NES Max. Big stack of crap. Alright, okay. Yeah, so like if you actually are gonna collect, man, they're all dusty. If you're actually gonna collect legit cartridges, Jackal is a fairly cheap game compared to like, say, other games. Let me find it here. I have it. Yeah, right here. And it's just like, you know, all the dudes on the Jeep and stuff. I could actually play this, but I'm using the flash cart. Oh, but, you know, don't worry. I also have Airwolf. Look at that. Oh, I know, right? Super jealous. But no, I actually have some good games like Chippendale. Like, look at that. I don't know if you can see the art cover. And also the infamous bad Mega Man 2 art cover. I got Monster in my pocket. That one's pretty nice. That's it. Oh, Base is Loaded. I know everyone's interested in that one. That one's pretty good. Oh, and Kung Fu. Kung Fu's nice as well. I mean, I brought these cartridges out. I might as well play the legit cartridge. I got fucking Rad Racer. Look, they didn't even bother to like make art for it. They just put the game graphics on it. But, you know, we got RC Pro-Am. Now that one has like its own graphic thing. And then of course the classic ice hockey where you can pick 3 guys to play. And I got Super C, which is cheaper than Contra. Contra is like 50 or 60 bucks. Super C you can get for like 15. Ninja Gaiden 2 is the same thing. Ninja Gaiden 2, you can get that a lot cheaper than Ninja Gaiden 1. And I would make I would say Ninja Gaiden 2 is a better game. That's just me. G.I. Joe Battle of Atlantis, really good game. Fantastic. You know, this one, I've never heard of this. It's like Super Mario or some shit. I don't know. That doesn't look like it'll ever be popular. And then Tiny Toons is pretty cool. It just has the Tiny Toons logo on it. And why wouldn't I have Ghost and Goblins? Because, you know, that's you can even see the little, like, 80s grid thing behind it a little bit. Dracula's Curse, pretty good for Castlevania. And the Zelda game I have is Link 2. It's a little scuffed, too. It's not really in good condition. But the cream of the crop of my collection, of course, is all pro basketball. You know, this probably goes for like $3 now. It's probably like really hard to get. See, now the thing is, trying to play all these things instead of playing the flash cart is I'd have to clean them all, right? Whereas a flash cart, I just clean once and put it in the system. So it's just so much more convenient for switching out games. Damn you, Dick Missile. But you know what? I mean, for authentic sake, let's do it. Let's actually play the legit Jackal cartridge. Why not? So there's the flash cart. Let's go with... I got Ghouls and Ghosts. Where was Jackal? It was like down there somewhere. There's Super C. Kung Fu, Bases Loaded. I actually hear Bases Loaded is like no joke, legitimately a pretty good baseball game. The other thing is now you gotta find the game, right? Oh, at least they have in labels. Oh, it's under Airwolf. Alright. Let's see if it works without blowing into it. Oh, there we go. Boom. First try, Jackal, man. Yeah, sometimes I actually play the real cartridge, not the flash card. Though, to tell you the truth, there really is no difference. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's a difference for me because I can see the cartridge in the machine and stuff like that. So there is a little bit of that going on, and it's like, oh, it's a legit cartridge from the 80s. But other than that, like gameplay-wise, no, it's the same game. But there is this sort of like feeling you get when you actually use like your real, like something that from like your collection, I guess. So I remember, you know, and this was before, way before I started streaming and way before I got into like RGB, like NES graphics and stuff. Like, you know, all I did was I went to the retro game store and I bought an NES and a couple of games, and then like every week or so I'd go down there and buy another one, you know, and I felt like my collection was complete aside from like buying expensive games, you know, again, like $60 NES games and stuff, right? But then I heard about the flash cart. And then I was like, oh man, the idea of having every NES game like available to me, or at least very close to almost every NES game, and then working on my actual system was extremely appealing. So the NES flash cart was the second flash cart I ever bought, because I bought one for the Super Nintendo to play like RPGs in English on the system. But that's why like the collection got small on the NES. But even then, even without the flash cart, the games that I have on the NES are like pretty damn solid. I guess the one thing, like, because some people, like, you know, they have the money to buy a flash cart, but they choose to still buy the original games, is because it gives them an incentive to beat the game. And I can understand that too, because it's like, number one, it's a pain in the ass to switch out the games, because, you know, with the flash cart, you just hold reset. And then you just go to the, you know, you go on the list and then you pick the next game, right? It makes it really easy to switch games. But when you're on like a legit game, you actually have to take it out of the system, find the next game, you know, make sure it's clean, do all this shit. As well as like acquire the games, like legally. Or not legally, but like, you know, buy the physical copies. Yeah, I think flash carts have kind of revitalized retro, at least for me. Like, retro gaming was always kind of my hobby, but like, the idea of like trying to buy every good game on the system was going to be a hassle, especially when it was like, you know, shit like Final Fantasy VI or Super Mario All-Star, not All-Stars, but All-Stars is now expensive too, I think. But yeah, like Final Fantasy VI, Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, those are like over $100 games. Luckily I already had those, but that's just an example, you know, like if you wanted to play those, you were pretty much fucked. Like the only way you were gonna do it was either via emulation, which wasn't that appealing and still really isn't. Or like, you know, a re-release like on the Wii Virtual Console, but that's still basically just emulation. So there was just no way to really play it on legit hardware, and then flashcards started to become a thing. And then that's really opened up, at least for me, a lot of the retro systems, like the NES, the Genesis, like, because then I have access to the full library of games. And I can really understand the system and see, and like, I really see how they shine. And in many ways, I appreciate them even more now, because, again, there are certain games that, like, they're either rare or, like, you know, pricey, like, impossible to play on real hardware. Unless you go flashcard. Like, for instance, Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2 on the NES is like a $200, $300 game. Like, if you tried to actually get that cartridge from, like, sellers, or, like, stuff like Flintstones, Dinosaur Peak, that's an insanely expensive one, too. Yeah, well, the cool thing about PS2 is that, like, it was extremely popular, and it was a disc-based system, right? So a lot of the games, like, if you want to own the games, are fairly cheap to get used. I mean, there's always going to be a couple of, like, expensive ones, but it's not like the NES or the Super Nintendo where it's like every bullshit RPG will cost you, like, over $100. Finding a stinker in a pile of games that is actually good. Well, the other cool thing about the PS2 is that the PS2 is also fairly easy to hack as well. You know, to get, like, especially if it has a USB port. So then what you do there is you get your games on a hard drive and then plug it into the USB port. And then you have access to all the games on that. When it comes to stuff like this, I mean, like, I tend to not do that to, like, new games, you know, like stuff that comes out in this generation, but I feel like if it's like 2 or 3 generations old, the companies aren't making the money off those games anymore. You know, it's all people reselling. Urban Rain is a hidden game, so I'm an experiment from Namco. And make it a 3D beat 'em up. I'm still amazed the beat 'em up genre hasn't, like... With today's technology, you could do so much with the beat 'em up, and they like, people just haven't made a good beat 'em up in a while. Other than, like, throwback beat 'em ups, you know, like ones that are 2D. Because I feel like if, like, you could do a really cool beat 'em up with, like, awesome animations and stuff in 3D and have, like, really interactable environments, you know, like throw a guy through, like, a toilet stall. Or, like, through a, you know, all the classic shit you see in movies where guys get thrown through, like, windows and... Or in front of trains or something. It's like, you think that we could do that better with the tech now. Like, what's funny is my favorite 3D beat-em-ups are like Die Hard Arcade and Dynamite Cop. The Warriors is pretty good. Now that was a step in the right direction of like modernizing the beat-em-up genre. Like, you know, pushing it more than just trying to rehash the old days. Which, don't get me wrong, I like the rehashes too, like Castle Crashers and whatever, but I feel like, you know, like, there should be people trying to, like, push it more. Didn't the same people, like, it's Rockstar, right? Didn't they also make the Reservoir Dog game? What sucks about the Warriors, though, is it's hard to get, because, the actor that played Swan sued Rockstar because they used his likeness without his permission. Even though they got the rights to the movie, they had to get the rights for every actor that was in the movie, and they didn't get his. So then it got pulled from shelves. So it's a very rare game because of that. You know, it's because of this level that I just never trust the Greeks. Now sometimes I get lucky and just blow them away, but it's okay. There we go. I think you can only do damage to them when they open their mouth. I could be wrong though. Either way, when there's one left, it's pretty easy. Yeah! So I'm also faced with this dilemma when it comes to the analog, because apparently the firmware on the analog's been updated, but I use the jailbroken firmware so I can play, you know, like Master System games and stuff like that. But part of me wants to use the official firmware to get some of the bug fixes that they did, which are mainly like sound stuff. So it's like I'm kind of torn. I'm hoping they go back and update the jailbroken stuff. Because I wouldn't mind better Master System support. Get some of those games that aren't working. Which I know they did get working because, you know, Analogue made that Sega Genesis, right? The Mega Analog or whatever. So I'm assuming their firmware is a lot better on that. Nice. I have no idea what those stars do. I guess they're just points. You want to get a Neo Geo one? Oh god, they're still pricey. That's what sucks about it. Also, speaking of new consoles, I got a new donation goal. If I ever reach it, we'll get TurboGrafx streams. Though realistically, I don't think I'll actually reach it. I do hope to get some money for it to like lessen the cost. You play that on an emulator? Yeah, I played TurboGrafx on an emulator, and I don't want to play too much of it on an emulator because I want to like really sink my teeth into it, you know. I want to save the experience for when I actually get the real deal. See, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But it could be a long time before I actually get the TurboGrafx, and hopefully nothing fucking bad happens that I have to use the money on, you know, like, oh, I don't know, like a ticket or something. Speaking of which, my mom got in a wreck and I had to pay the ticket. That sucked. Yeah, if the TurboGrafx was more popular, or at least in the States, it'd be a lot cheaper and easier to find, that's for sure. Though some people say maybe it's better to buy a, but the whole thing was flooded with hot water, like, oh god, that sucks. Yeah, see, as long as nothing bad like that happens, then I should be okay. Because then I can just spend the money on the TurboGrafx and not have to spend it on, like, you know, shit like new tires or something. Truth be told, I could buy one now, but I don't really want to spend the $5. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be too dangerous to spend the money because just in case something does happen, you know, you gotta have some money left over for emergencies. Ah, I'm fucked now. Had to cut out a part of the wall. That must have really sucked. Was there any water damage on anything? Yeah, like you don't keep a lot of shit in your basement, do you? Cause that's what would really get me. Not too much was damaged. I guess consider you're so fortunate in that. It would have been terrible if it was like, you know, family pictures or something that got all water damaged. Or like heirlooms or whatever. So yeah, when I was researching the TurboGrafx prices and stuff, because I was thinking it was gonna be about 300, right? For me to get everything I needed for it, but no. I was kind of amazed that it would be a $500 project. I was like, really? Son of a bitch. Because I obviously want to get the CD add-on for it, you know, I mean, so that leaves getting, you know, something like the Dual, TurboGrafx Dual, which came with the CD add-on. But then there's also like modding it for RGB, right, to get the clean picture. And at first I was thinking I get the TurboGrafx and I get that thing that plugs in the back of it, right? But I went to the website of the guys that make that and they're sold out. And it's just kind of like, really, you're sold out? And there was no information of whether they were going to manufacture anything new, you know? So then that means that, like, okay, well, maybe my options now are to just get it, like, modded. You know, buy it and then mod it. But that means that, like, an unmodded one's like 300. Then to get it modded would be like 100. And then to get, like, an EverDrive, you know, like a flash cart for it would be like 130. I don't have to worry about CDs, because basically, like, it's like the Sega CD. You just burn the discs and they work. I have no one. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I really want to play Castlevania X. That's like the main reason. Everything else would be, you know, it's just like gravy. Like all the, you know, shoot 'em ups, and then that one alien pinball game, Alien Crush. But yeah, it's kind of sad. I'm more excited about getting a TurboGrafx than I am about, like, the PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox. Like, I could give less of a fuck. Like... Yeah, I heard that. Actually, like, the NES has that game too, but the TurboGrafx one, like, he looks like Jackie Chan in that one. But it's like the exact same game. And there's also a good TurboGrafx homebrew scene where some people have ported games like Mega Man 1 and like Ninja Gaiden to like the TurboGrafx. Actually, I think the TurboGrafx has a legit version of Ninja Gaiden released in Japan only, and it's like superior to the NES version. And it's not like gimped like the Super Nintendo version of Ninja Gaiden. One thing that would be cool to get into, but I'm probably never ever gonna get into, is using the what's it called? Super Gun to play arcade games, you know, like people that buy the arcade boards. Because that shit is just too much, you know, like different arcade boards require different connectors. and like different ways of configuring the controls and stuff. It's like, oh my god, they would be neat to do. Yeah, the backgrounds are kind of screwed. It was also like, it didn't look that much better than the NES version. In fact, the sprites looked exactly the same except for like some added color. But then, like, things were changed around, especially in Ninja Gaiden 2, like, in one level it's supposed to go dark and then go light. It doesn't do that at all in the Super Nintendo version, and that's like a big part of Ninja Gaiden 2 is the levels are like tricky. Though I do like the music, you know, the added music tracks as well, but it's not like, it should have been better on everything, not just like one thing. And it should have, they should have redid some of the graphics for the Super Nintendo, not just like put more color in it. Kind of lazy, you know? Like, you compare that to Mario All-Star, holy crap, look at those bullets. I'm just gonna drive over here. Like, because Mario All-Star is a great, you know, like a perfect example of updating an NES game on the Super Nintendo. All the graphics have changed. The backgrounds are like, they added more like detail in the backgrounds. Yeah, they bunched all three of them into one, but like I remember reading reviews for that. Oh shit, that was a flame tank when it came out, and like basically most of the reviewers were like, yeah, if you don't already have Ninja Gaiden on the NES, this is pretty good, but if you have Ninja Gaiden on the NES, you can skip this. Not really worth it. And that's kind of my feeling now. Like, the only reason to play it is if you don't have Ninja Gaiden on the NES or you don't have an NES anymore. Oh god, a flame. See, this is the one time you want to have the grenades, because it'll go over the sandbags. God damn! Alright, I made it. Shit. There we go. The plane drops grenades. The guy's still trying to burn me. Oh crap. Oh damn it. Ah, what an annoying bastard. Are we done? I think we're done. Yep. Tank factory. You know, they really blow up the doors when they open. So I guess what I like to do is go after these turrets first and then just kind of camp the door. I pressed up. There we go. Yeah! Alright, last level. Red Square. At least I think it's Red Square, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I feel like the Jackal universe is very similar to the Stripes universe. Because it's like, how does a fucking Winnebago take out, like, all that shit? How does a Jeep take out this entire army? Who knows? Bill Murray and Harold Ramis are piloting it. We have John Lithgow as the terrible CO. Man, I loved that movie when I was a kid. It had like some of my favorite actors in it. It had John Candy. Man, I miss John Candy. Oh god. Hey, what's up, Besson? How you doing? Yeah, John Candy was in a lot of good stuff. I mean, like, I think his most successful movie that he was in, where he was the star, was Uncle Buck. But he was really good in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And the Harry Crumb movies, they weren't too bad. I mean, I got a laugh out of them. Heck, I even liked the last movie he was in, which was a Western called Wagons East. Bit tired, how about me? I'm doing alright. Getting some gaming in. It's my day off, so I want to get as much gaming done. Oh crap, I'm dead. Yeah, I wish Wagons East... I mean, that was the movie he died making, right? So it was never really completed, so there's a lot of, like, loose plot threads, you know, like, you know how that one woman is married to all the Fergusons or whatever? You know, the stupid... That stupid inbred family, and they ordered a Russian bride or whatever, or a mail order bride, but they ordered it for the whole family, so she was the wife of everyone. But how they kept somehow killing themselves off for being stupid. They never actually showed all of them dying, so but they all apparently died at the end of the trip, but it was never shown, so I was like, oh. It's like how there's that one scene where she's talking to that one guy, and then they're like in the background, like you know, basically farting and lighting their farts on fire. And then the guy's like, what the hell are they doing? And she's like, well, isn't it obvious? They're lighting their farts on fire, and that's what they're doing. That's the whole thing. Would it be forbidden in Germany? It does have kind of a Cold War vibe, doesn't it? Got a little... No, they would have released it in Germany. What they would have did was they would make all the people robots. Yeah, that's a common thing, right? It's like... See, that's the thing, is like, you think that would be less violent, but like, once the robots take over, they'll remember that Germany made nothing but games where they, that all the games in Germany were violence against robots, and then you guys would be like the first to be taken out by Skynet. That'll be the end of it. They'll be like, we had it with your hatred of robots. You could switch some files. Well, Half-Life was like that too, right? Like the original Half-Life, all the Marines were robots. Contra was like that. All the guys were robots. I like how Sven Co-op for Half-Life just took the robots and put them in like modded campaigns. Sit down and refuse to walk when they died. Oh my god, that's fun. Oh, that's a good one. Oh man. Yeah, I think that's why Germany became more PC gaming, right? Is because like it was really easy to like either get the international version of a PC game or patch your game to make sure that it would be like uncensored. Whereas if you did like consoles, you know, you were pretty much fucked with whatever the hell was the version you got. Also, I think consoles are more expensive overall in like Europe. So it makes sense to go PC. Your first Wolfenstein 3D was with Pac-Man? Oh, was it like smiley face people? Like Faceball? Stop shooting ping pong balls at me. Fuck you. God. Oh, damn it. There it is. Close. Oh, I'm fighting M. Bison's army. I didn't know that. Oh, it's the Shadaloo. Okay, it's not Russians like I thought it was. Ah, fuck. There we go. Now I can go back down. Mistimed it. Luckily, there's no time limit. Then this game would really piss me off. You know, those games, you know, like games like Ghosts and Goblins and shit, even though the time limit doesn't really screw you that much until the last level. Thank God. Crap. Make sure I blow up. Okay, that's blown up. How about this? Look at that. This escalator. I won't reach. Fuck! Right, let's use that post-hit invincibility for all it's worth. Just make sure only one's on screen, and then you kinda... I can be cheap too, game. Blow up a helicopter with a grenade. Or a tank with a grenade, that'll work. You know, I don't think I've ever fought the boss of this level. I think this is the first I've ever gotten. And I feel like a boss fight's coming, right? Like, you gotta... But I don't know what it would be. I guess it would be like a military, like the whole base. Kind of like how it was the tank factory in the last level. There's no POWs to save. Here we go. Oh shit, no, it is Russia. And of course, the Kremlin has nothing but giant laser beam fucking turrets that blow holes in the floor. Okay, I got rid of one. Got one more life, you bitches. Take that! Take that! Tear down this wall, you sons of bitches! I hope that's what I'm supposed to blow up. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that seems to be it, and then it's just nothing but tanks. Oh god, that was close. Oh, I did it! I did it! Oh my god, it's a big fucking tank! It's a big T-34! It's as big as a building! At least the tiny tanks stopped appearing. Oh god, that fuck no! I've never made it this far! You practice these games often? Oh god. No, I play them for a bit, and then I get far, and then I die, and then like I wait for a little bit. I think, who knows what the hell? Maybe the tank, maybe the building transformed into a tank. It's like a transformer. See, I wasn't ready for that. I did not know it was going to be a tank. I thought the building was it, and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. But it's like, not only is this the longest level in the game. I mean, it feels like the longest level in the game, but yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen that, so. I wonder what happens when I beat him. You think the game loops? It probably does loop. There's probably an ending like Contra, and then the game loops. Oh great, this leads nowhere. Hey, what's up, Makubi? How you doing? I'm playing Jackal on the actual cartridge. Look at me. Oh god. Why am I even bothering with these guys? Fuck them. Fuck you guys. You guys have fun with your little turret. Now these guys I do have to get, because they can hit me while I unload the POWs. What the fuck? He can just leave me alone for 2 seconds. He flies on screen and then shoots a bullet that I didn't know it was there. I know, it was cheap, and he did it twice, son of a bitch. What an asshole. I must be getting better at NES games, because it's like, normally I don't even make it this far. Oh my god. I don't know why this game never got a sequel. Really good game. Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. That reminds me, yeah. Fucking balls. See, now I'm playing like shit. That was the time I should have beat the game, right when I got to that tank. Because I was on a roll for some reason, and then, like... Now I'm like impatient. Of course, I was more cautious the first time. Like I did everything I took the long way. I blew up everything on every side. Do I get points for blowing shit up? Oh, I do. Maybe I should do that just to try and get an extra life. Fucking missile. Let me go blow up this missile. Clearly. I don't know when I get an extra life. You know, I kind of have a feeling it might be pretty soon, though. If I can blow up these turrets. Oh my god, really? Look at this. Look at this! Oh my god, that was a hit! Come on! There we go. He just throws it really high. It's perspective. It's not that big. Yeah. Then again, I don't know. Maybe it's as big as the Jeep. Maybe that's why it's able to, like, take out tanks and... Oh, God. Oh, good. It disappeared. You know, I can't shoot in that direction. Fucking helicopter! So this level, you can only upgrade your weapon in the beginning. And then if you die after that, you're just stuck with the grenades. Yeah, this is the only part where you can upgrade your weapon, is this, like... Oh, God. You know, can one of you guys be a specialist to power up my weapon? Like, at least one guy? Come on. It didn't kill it! There we go. Yeah, this Jeep can handle a lot, man. Got 20 guys riding on it. It's like those YouTube videos you see of people driving around in India where they have like 50 people on like a car. Yeah, that's what's going on here. We're just being extremely efficient. I missed both. Blizzard of balls. There we go. Oh, there's that fucking helicopter pilot. Yeah, there are no weapon upgrades in this whole damn level. I didn't get a single one. Wow. Okay, so the only way, like, to even have the missiles is if you still had them from the level prior. My machine gun doesn't take out the helicopter. Ain't that great? I better hurry up, because if I don't, the Allied helicopter leaves. Let's toss that out every now and then. Okay, no, they give it to me for this. Okay, good. Thank God. I would prefer the 4-shot one, but I'll take this. This is nice. Yep. Well, that sucks is now I can't, like, shoot through walls. But at least now I can do stuff like that. It also means I don't have to be deadly accurate with it either. I can take out these turrets a lot easier. I can get the range. There we go. No, 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 no. Don't touch me. I still love the explosion sounds in this game. Oh no, you fucking hate helicopters! That missile was making these turret sections so much easier. Well, I mean, I guess at least the enemies don't respawn. That would be even more annoying. Fuck. Gotcha. And now I gotta get the other one, because the other one will get me even though I don't. Got him. Oh, fuck. Oh, if I can make it there with 3 lives, I think I can do it. As long as I don't die here, but this is like one of the hardest parts just because of the crossfire. I go down so they're not both shooting at me. Alright. Okay, there's a helicopter that comes in. Yeah, I remember you. Damn. Yeah, I think this is the boss area. Or either that's where I fight like all these tanks and infantry. Okay, so you, yeah, it's the same place. Fucking laser beams. One down. Okay, now to take out the center point. They have laser tech. They only had enough laser technology to protect the Kremlin, or wherever the fuck I am. It's not the Kremlin, but they had enough to protect their main base, and that was it. Alright, okay. I got 4 lives. 4 lives, and as long as there's not a form after this, I should be fine. Yes! Yes! I beat Jackal! Oh my god. Well done. What an understatement. Mission accomplished! Let's have a smoke! And you take a piss over there while I smoke this cigar near the camera. And that was the story of Big Boss, and how he destroyed communism forever. Not a bad game. Jackal's still one of the best. It's also a really good game to play 2 players. Like, the second player can't screw you over like, say, in Contra or Battletoads. Push start key. Okay. Loops. Is it any more difficult? That would be sweet if it was. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like the same. I haven't noticed much. That's the first time I ever beat Jackal. I've never beaten this game. I just play it every now and then, like, I guess I finally got far enough. Unstoppable Jeep van. It's like 4 guys. There are 4 guys on this Jeep, yet we're able to rescue this many POWs. We're really good at stacking people on it. Ah. That's true, these, like, badass grenades that I can only shoot one at a time of that blow up tanks. Alright, well that's Jackal.